I was thrown off the trail by some questionable volcano research, and I wanted to dig a little deeper so it didn't cloud my judgment. I was talking about tectonic plates and volcanoes and how the two are related. Subduction is the process where one tectonic plate slides over another, and the other plate goes underground. Moist organic material is dragged toward the molten center of the Earth, where it heats and decays. The moisture superheats, and the steam has nowhere to escape, so it builds up the underground pockets. As the pressure builds, the gases, including CO2, find little tunnels leading to the surface. The easiest way to get to the surface is where the fault lines already exist. So all along those thousands of miles, CO2 is escaping. If all the little tunnels get clogged and the gases cannot escape, the pressure forces the land above it to expand and finally erupt. No scientists are measuring this total amount yet. There is just too much to cover. That's probably why Professor Fisher thinks the percentage will go up. He also told me that human-caused emissions are rising. Volcanic gases undergo a tremendous increase in volume when magma rises to the Earth's surface and erupts according to the USGS. They also report that extreme heat from molten lava boils and vaporizes seawater, leading to a series of chemical reactions. The boiling and reactions produce hydrochloric acid. From UCLA, a major source of atmospheric CO2 is degassing from volcanic activity, which acts as a release of carbon dioxide. And another important source of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is in the decomposition of organic material. From Columbia University in New York, because of the role CO2 in climate, feedbacks in the carbon cycle act to maintain global temperatures within certain bounds so that the climate never gets too hot or too cold to support life on Earth. Volcanic activity has also, in the deep past, increased greenhouse gases over millions of years, contributing to episodes of global warming. That according to NASA. And again from MIT, Mount Koala has a 2-mile circle of degassing lava. They also say if CO2 concentration increases in the atmosphere because of an increased rate of outgassing, global temperature will rise. Rising temperature and more dissolved CO2 will lead to increased weathering of crustal rock as a result of faster reaction rates and greater acidity. Enhanced weathering will use up the excess CO2, thereby cooling the climate. If more rocks become available for rapid weathering as a result of mountain uplift, the enhanced weathering will draw down atmospheric CO2 and decrease global temperatures. But the decreased temperatures will slow reaction rates, thereby using less CO2, thus allowing temperatures to moderate. That has my head spinning, but that's why I call it the magic blend. Crazy, but it looks like there is a natural balance in all that. And also from USGS, volcanic activity has more than doubled since 1970. And then there's the occasional large eruption that throws a huge plume of ash and gases into the air. That not only affects weather, it creates its own weather. And scientists are measuring CO2 emissions to predict eruptions. Volcanoes definitely move back to my suspect list. And that leads us back to continental drift, where subduction brings large amounts of organic material deep underground. The material that does not decay eventually turns into fossil fuels. Under tremendous pressure, new coal and oil are created. and natural gas is created as friction and heat from the molten center causes organic material dragged down underground to shed water, CO2, and methane. This is a major cause of earthquakes too. There are thousands of earthquakes each year in Alaska along the Ring of Fire. Weather moves with the wind, moving continents alters wind patterns. This one's a no-brainer. Continental drift moves up to the suspect list. The last potential suspect on our list is Earth's ever-changing orbit. When the orbit flares to an oval and winters are deeper in outer space, for a longer period of time, massive glaciers form and flow towards the equator. Ice sheets from the poles expand, and summer is not long enough to melt them. The massive movement alone will change weather patterns. Will humans survive another ice age? That's a totally different project. But for now, changing orbits is a suspect. Well, now I have my suspect list. It's time to line them up and see if I can figure out who's guilty and see if humans are the main cause of climate change or global warming. Since all my suspects influence climate and warming, it's going to be tough to compare each suspect. But I think I found out a way to help me figure this out. I'm going to put on my thinking cap and take a hard look at my suspects, and I think we can put it all together in Chapter 5. I can't wait.